We were talking about websites from 2004, the need to study the evolution of the web, basically, and this whole co-constituted idea that the web impacts us, but we actually impact on the web. So Twitter, things like the hashtag and the retweet and the modified tweet and adding photos all came about because that's what people wanted to do with it. They started to do it for themselves, and then the people who delivered the technology, and it isn't just Twitter itself, there were other companies that helped you look at the Twitter sphere, they added on to the technology to enable that very easily. So in the early days, to retweet was really difficult, but people wanted to do it, so it got built into the system. So we take it from a very, very interdisciplinary approach. So we are not just computer scientists. We're a mix of disciplines, social science, economics, psychology, law, maths, the list goes on. And we take it from a very interdisciplinary approach. We do a lot of data analysis of the social media, social networks, to try and understand how they work, how people behave given these applications of the technology. We monitor new social machines as they emerge. We even try launching a few ourselves just as experiments. So I remember wanting something like a Twitter before Twitter existed, because the blogging had emerged before Twitter, and it takes some discipline to blog on a regular basis. And I travel a lot, and I like to tell people where I am and what I'm doing. And I wanted to be able, I remember talking to someone here and saying, I want to be able to just, answer the question, where is Wendy today, sort of thing. I didn't envisage what Twitter would lead to, but this was before Twitter existed. I didn't want to have to write a big blog. I wanted to just be able to send a message. And, it was totally dismissed initially, Twitter, as people telling each other what they had for breakfast. And do you know, today I was at a dinner last night at the Royal Society, and this person sitting next to me said, I don't want to use Twitter, I don't want to know what you've had for breakfast, Wendy. And I think, you still think that's what Twitter's about. And it's evolved into a network that can save lives, because people, the security forces tweet, hide, there's someone with a gun, or it's used for marketing, it's used for celebrities marketing themselves. It's hugely used for dissemination of news. I follow the BBC and CNN sites, and I follow the science writers, so I get links to their blogs in a very easy way, much, much easier than trying them to let me know on email, because they just have to put it on Twitter, and anybody who wants to look can. I think the problem Twitter has is that you see the whole of human nature writ large in Twitter in a fairly uncontrolled way. So the nasty stuff, the misogyny, the bullying, the trolling, the just beating up on people by other people who have no right to do so, but because they can, is so easy in Twitter. It's so easy to hide behind anonymity, but and so Twitter suffers from all those problems, probably more than other networks, social networks do. And at the same time, they haven't found a good business model. And when you think about it, when you think about companies now use Twitter for marketing, they should be paying for that, right? That's the way the world works, but they get free marketing out of it. And it's really hard for Twitter to charge. It's found it very hard to get people to pay for advertising. Why should they? Because they just got a tweet. It's really difficult. So the business model is really difficult. And it's not that it will die, but it potentially will get swallowed up by something else. But actually, all these social networks are so embryonic in terms of the evolution of communication in civilized society, right? Which has been 2 millennia, if not more. And Twitter's been around for 10 years, Facebook's been around for 15 years, something like that. This is nothing. It's not a blink of an eye. And I would predict that in 10, 15 years' time, the social networks won't be anything like they are today. They probably won't be called what they are today. The trouble is, it does tend to be winner takes all in the web. It does encourage monopolies because of the network effect. But I personally think, in our world as we know it today of the web, microblogging is an essential activity.